Hello, good evening from Bloomfield, New Jersey. My name is Deanna Cluth. I'm a psycho-spiritual therapist and womb priestess. And I am grateful to Jana Johnson for prompting me to share with you some home remedies from one mother to another. I'm not an herbalist, not a doctor, so what I'm going to share with you are things that either I have been doing for myself and my family for years, or I'm also going to share with you something that I just learned from a teacher I'm studying with, Guido Massi, who is an herbalist. And even he says he has no direct experience with the COVID-19 virus, so shares information from people working with it directly in China and elsewhere, and as well as his own knowledge. So just to begin, I want to start with preventative measures for just general immune support. And these are the very basics of eating well and exercise and remaining hydrated, and practicing some stress reducing practices like meditation, yoga, tennis. I mean, even the exercise itself can help to keep your body, your immune system peaceful and stress-free. So I love also making herbal teas, and those can have very calming effects on the nervous system. And, when we are not in this heightened state of fear and constantly, elevating our adrenal system, we can really be in a better state of health in our body to be able to fight infection. So we want to try to be in generally as balanced and peaceful as possible. Now that just helps to support health. It is not going to cure illness or fight the infection of whatever you might contract. And there are a lot of things that go into play when you get specific illnesses. Now, the COVID-19, I understand, is a different kind of illness that elderberry, for example, won't be useful for because of a couple reasons. One is the long duration of the time period that you can have the virus before the onset of symptoms. And elderberry, typically you use it as a preventative during the season, but also as soon as you feel a tickle or start to feel the onset of the flu, you can take it and very quickly help bolster that immune system. But and I don't understand the specifics, but what was said tonight in this class I just took with Guido Massi was that because of the way the elderberry activates the immune system, and again, I'm not being very specific in terms of the body processes and the science of it, but it will end up aggravating the inflammation and causing more susceptibility to getting ill. So hold off on the elderberry, because you don't want to create a situation, that is helps the COVID virus, COVID-19, to flourish. So there are other suggestions that he recommended as a preventative, and that is astragalus, mitake mushrooms, various mushrooms, and these all, to add to soup broths or decoct them. And of course, all the regulars, washing your hands, trying to avoid contacting all the mucous membranes. And as he said, I also agree. Normally, I don't like antibacterials, hand sanitizers, but to keep our elderly population and high-risk population safe, we want to reduce the number of contaminants and bacteria that are on our hands from all surfaces. So you can make your own using alcohol and aloe vera, 2 parts alcohol to aloe vera, isopropyl alcohol, 91%, I believe. And there is also another thing he suggested was this benchmark thyme essential oil. There's something called thymol, which is an approved antibacterial. But what you can do is take distilled water. What he does is take 30 milliliters of distilled water, 200 milliliters of gum arabic powder, 0.25 milliliters of benchmark thyme essential oil, and mixes the gum arabic and the benchmark thyme to make a paste, and then dissolves it into the water and uses that as the spray. But you can also buy thymol. And benchmark thyme spelled as in the herb, THYME. Also oregano essential oil. And if you are one to make your own medicines, you can also, instead of the alcohol, and if you already have like Graves or Everclear, you can also use that alcohol instead of the isopropyl alcohol. So yeah, keeping hands clean, wiping down surfaces, and for long-term prevention, the astragalus, the mushrooms, and other berries are fine. It's just the elderberries that if you take too much and overdo it over the age of 60, it can enhance the production of cytokines and make the problem worse. So back off on elderberry for COVID-19 right now. Herbal treatments that have been successful in China and elsewhere were endographis, an antiviral and cooling herb, and Baikal skullcap root, forsythia root, and honeysuckle flower. I believe that's a mixture that was used. If you do become ill, and if you have all these ideas about remedies, don't just do it at home. They can really quickly turn into a serious illness. So you want to work together with the standard, allopathic medicines, and really rely on your local, hospital. Give them a call. Don't just drive to the hospital. You can begin your herbal protocols, but immediately call the hospital and also integrate whatever their recommendations are. but hopefully none of us will need to do that. We will remain healthy. And I want to share with you other things I love to do just for general seasonal support for regular colds and flus that my family has used for, well, now going on 12 years. Children love it. I love it. Using any of these herbs in a tea, and I'll make a strong infusion. You can use each herb individually or a combination, and it varies. I just feel it out depending on what I have in the kitchen or what's available in the supermarket where I'm traveling. I prefer fresh herbs, but I also use, the dried herbs I have in my cabinet. So thyme tea, and all of these add a little honey. Also, kids love that little sweet edge, but you don't have to. But it also can be soothing for the throat if your throat is inflamed, in the case of a sore throat, or having a lot of congestion that's making you cough a lot, that's making you irritated. So thyme, oregano, these are all antiviral, antimicrobial to different degrees, antibacterial. um, Rosemary. um, I will also sometimes mix in fresh mint, ginger, root, sage. And I have also in the past made a combination with also star anise, garlic, onion is also very good. Although I don't generally use it in tea, I have put it into a fire cider, or even a big slice in my sock on both feet, like a nice thick slice that covers the pad of my foot, the arch of my foot, and then just go to sleep in that. And all of these, do your own research. Hopefully let this ignite your curiosity and dive into the world of herbal medicinal support. There's so much more I'm still learning. I've been studying it now. Let's see, what are there my favorite herbs for the tea? I believe I mentioned all of them. A little heat also sometimes good. Add a dash of the cayenne. And peppermint, thyme, fresh mint, oregano. Thyme is my big go-to, and lately peppermint and sage also, and oregano and ginger. I mean, that's mostly what I do for if anybody's got a cold, needs to help fight any kind of virus, flu virus, or just, something relatively benign, unlike, say, COVID-19, that is acts with the body in a different way and needs a little bit more support and more understanding. Basically, we really don't understand enough and have enough experience to say exactly how to support the immune system. I will share that what is beginning to be understood is that it has to do with a acute respiratory failure. What did they call it? Respiratory distress syndrome. and you're no longer able to oxygenate. And it can be triggered by our own cytokine storm in susceptible people. Our own immune system goes haywire, which is why they're looking now to be able to block the receptor that 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 will it's called the androtensin receptor. So there's some exciting progress in understanding how this works, and that has to do with the way that the reason I mentioned that that's how the elderberry works, has to do with how our immune system might then overload and cause more stress and more inflammation and create more receptors for that envelope to connect to. So again, I'm not as well versed in this, but having a little bit of information more than what you're hearing in the news and being kind of bombarded with the fear kind of makes it more understandable, more able to then address what you can and really let go of what you cannot control. Keep yourself safe by washing your hands. And the way you're supposed to wash your hands, for anybody who doesn't know, I mean, hot water, soap and water is the best. For rub your hands for like 30 seconds, count ABC twice, sing ABC, count to 30, really rub your hands with the soap, get a nice soapy lather, and then rinse. Typically we'll, lather our hands and rinse it, rub it while we're washing our hands under the water. You really want to just get that lather and really take that length of time and then rinse off in hot water. So yeah, stay healthy. Do not remain in a stressful state about this. That won't help you stay healthy. And start building a relationship with the plants and the herbs, and allow the earth that has all this wisdom that we've been raised up in for generations to have this symbiotic healing relationship with. Let the plants speak to you to nurture your own particular health concern, whatever it may be. And, just begin to build that beautiful relationship and add that to your way of being in the world in this lifetime. These are our plant ancestors. They are our family. And they have systems similar to ours with these capillary vessels and river flows. And so they mimic this kind of, there's a symbiotic life symmetry. I just heard about one amazing plant that has the capacity to help regulate the electromagnetic impulses in your heart when taken internally. It's just amazing. So this part of the plant. I would like now to do a guided journey to connect with our earth and our plant world and our garden within. And well, I will guide you through it as we go. But the intention is for health and vitality and peace and wellness. So if you'll take a moment, if you're watching this, you can pause it. I will also make available an audio only file so you can listen to it. And yeah, take a moment if you're watching this, press pause, make a nice little nest, and you can just lay down and I'll just take you on a little 5 or 10 minute guided journey. Okay? If you like, you can also light a candle, burn some incense, spray some lavender. If you've never taken a drum journey, the drum is the heartbeat. It's the heartbeat of our heart. It's the heartbeat of our mother while we were in the womb. It's the heartbeat of the earth, the pulse of life. And when we journey this way, our hearts become regulated to the beat of the drum, and we'll just fall into a rhythm. And then when we come out of it, out of the journey, I'll speed up the rhythm. And that's when you know we're coming back and ending the journey, and the same way we entered. And I'll guide you through it, all right? So we begin. Allowing your breath to be like waves as you breathe in and out. Gently feeling your energy flow downward, down, 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 out from your mind, down into your heart, down, down into your womb. Or for men, that area right below the navel, where for all of us, clusters of nerves meet, where our creative energy lies, our source of power. And breathing into this space in the bowl, the cradle of your pelvis, you can imagine that you're swimming in this vast, dark, primordial well, spiraling around the vortex in the center. You slowly are pulled and drawn toward its center, spiraling faster, 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 till you are drawn down into the well, down through the black hole, and you fall and allow yourself to fall downward, down, feeling safe, down into the earth, down until you land in a garden. You feel your feet naked, bare on the grass, cool and warm. And you look around and you see there is a door overgrown with vines around a wall. You examine this wall, you notice the type of door it is. Is it metal or wood? Is there a knob or a latch? You find you have a key in your pocket that unlocks this door, and you enter. It's beautiful inside. You see so many plants and trees in different states. Some have withered and are ready for weeding. Some are beginning to bud. This is your garden. So much medicine is here. So many scents that affect your nervous system in calming and soothing ways. You allow yourself to be pulled and drawn toward the medicine that calls to you now. Noticing everything along the way. The sounds of birds, butterflies, and all their colors. Any deer or other messengers of wisdom. Medicine that is calling you now. You allow all your senses of perception to be available to you, to be receptive. To all that serves love, peace, harmony within your body, within your mind and spirit, wholeness, all that serves life speaks to you now. tend to your garden, drawing upon all its gifts, weeding, clearing, making space for new growth, allowing the decaying of the past to be mulch for new life. You walk on and find yourself at a tree, a large, old grandmother, great great grandmother. You sit at her roots, breathing with her, and she shows you how to let your energy flow down, spiraling down through the hollow bone that you are, down through your roots and up and around, and suddenly you feel yourself in the center of this whirling vortex of energy that is your spirit, cycling down, cycling up, and upon closer examination, you feel these tiny molecular versions, subatomic particle versions of this same spiraling, vorticing energy in every cell of your body. Synapses firing, life lit, in motion, vibrating, functioning like the miraculous, fluid, sacred, spiraling geometry that it is. Everything working perfectly, communicating perfectly, faster than the speed of light, pulsing with life. You thank the tree for helping you synchronize with her and this movement of life. You thank all your medicine teachers in this garden that you've met. You receive all the gifts you've come here to receive now. You integrate them into your being. And as you bid farewell, promising to return to tend to this garden in this reciprocity, this give and give. give mutual caregiving exchange of energy and information and healing care. You can come back anytime, for this garden is within you and connected to all there is. You only need your intention to return. To gain insight and guidance. It is time to head towards the door you came in and return, retracing your steps now. You return the way you came, back through the door, closing it behind you, feeling the grass warm and cool beneath your bare feet, walking to the place you landed, where you jump, spiraling up, 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 back up, spiraling back into the dark, spiraling pool of primordial darkness within your womb, below your navel, back into your body, into the space of time here and now. Feeling the surface beneath your body, beginning to flutter your eyes open as you wiggle your fingers and toes, rub your hands together, place them over your eyes, cupping them gently, feeling the vibration, feeling your breath, reaching out and pulling all that you received and placing your hands on your body, anywhere you feel called to anchor these messages, this healing vibration. And so you'll take a moment to make some notes about any information you received or sensations in your body, any guidance about what you in particular will benefit from to feel this peace and health and vitality in your body. And make yourself a cup of tea and drink up that medicine. Really commune with the plant, the herb that you use for this tea. Have a relationship and feel that dance of life, that tango between you and the plant happening within on that cellular level and all those body processes that the plant supports. and to get grounded and hydrated after your journey. And keep a journal by your bed and notice what dreams come through, what more information comes through from this dream time. And over the next few days, any synchronicities you might see out in the world, in symbols or in things people say, any confirmations for the guidance you received or for the plants that are wanting to work with you on your journey of health and well-being and peace and vitality. And anything you dream, augment. I dreamed I was washing some sheets and I have a pile of linens, and I'm going to augment that now and go put a load of laundry in. When we journey with the spirit a lot, we sometimes neglect the physical, and so that not only includes our bodies and our health. We really need to care for our physical bodies. Sometimes that happens in cycles where you focus on spirit, meditating, or you focus for a time on your physical body and do a lot of exercise, and then don't get to your practices, daily practices. And we are all different too, astrologically. We might find that some of us benefit from more cycles of changes in what our rituals are, and some of us really keep that even keel of a specific ritual for if not days, years, right? So trust that inner guidance. Enjoy that journey. Tend to your physical, material space, especially during this time where that virus is going around. Sanitizing a little bit more than we're used to, especially if our space comes into contact with the public. And wishing and praying for health, vitality, peace, and well-being for you and for all and for the planet. Thank you. And thank you, Jenna, for this opportunity to share and go here. I always enjoy this myself too. So thank you.